if alpha and beta are the roots of the equation 2x squared minus 7x minus 3 equal to 0, find the value of alpha plus beta, alpha beta square plus alpha square beta, and so on and so forth. So let's begin. Now let's write down the equation. You have 2x squared minus 7x equal to 3, sorry, minus 3 equal to 0. Now dividing all through by 2, this cancels this. You have x squared minus 7 over 2x minus 3 over 2 equal to 0. So this equation is written in this form, making the coefficient of x squared equal to 1. Now they said if the root of the equation is x is alpha and beta, meaning x is equal to beta, or x is equal to alpha, or x equal to beta. Now this is the same thing as saying x, this is the same thing as saying let me add minus beta minus alpha to both sides, and on this side let me add minus beta to both sides. Now this will cancel out this. I will have x minus beta equal to 0, or this will cancel out this. I will have x minus beta equal to 0. Now since x minus alpha is equal to 0, or x minus beta is equal to 0, so therefore x minus alpha times x minus beta is equal to 0. Now expanding this, using this to multiply this, and this to multiply this, using the whole of this to multiply x, so it will give me x into x minus alpha. Now using the whole of this to multiply this is minus beta times the whole of this, which is x minus alpha, which is equal to 0. If I expand this times this, I have x squared, this times this times this, so this times x is x squared, x times minus alpha is minus alpha x, this times this times this, so minus beta times x, it will give you minus beta x. Minus beta times minus alpha will give you plus alpha beta, which is equal to 0. Now you have x squared minus alpha plus beta times x plus alpha beta equal to 0. Now since alpha beta is the root of this equation, that means x squared minus 7 all over 2x plus minus 3 all over 2 is equal to x squared minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta, so they are equal. Now, since they are equal, the coefficient, if you check, the coefficient of x squared is the same, which is 1 here, 1 here. Then the coefficient of x will also be equal. For this equation to be equal to this, the coefficient of x squared will be equal to the coefficient of x squared here. The coefficient of x will be equal to the coefficient of x here. The coefficient of the constant will be equal to the coefficient of the constant here. So that means for this one, you have minus alpha bracket open minus bracket open alpha plus beta equal to this one here, which is minus 7 all over 2. Now, if you divide all through by minus 1, you have alpha plus beta equal to 7 all over 2, because this will cancel out this will cancel out this, so you have this. The negative will cancel out each other, so you're left with alpha plus beta equal to 7 over 2. Now, on the right hand side, you have the coefficient of the constant, which is plus alpha beta, is equal to the coefficient on the left hand side, which is minus 3 over 2. So alpha beta is equal to minus 3 over 2. So the first equation they asked was find the value of alpha plus beta. So we have gotten the value of alpha plus beta, which is, so the value of alpha plus beta from here is 7 over 2. Then the next one, they said we should find the value of alpha beta, which is the product of the roots of that equation, which is alpha beta is equal to minus 3 over 2. This is equation 1. Okay, sorry, this is problem 1, this is problem 2. Now, the next question is for I. So you have alpha beta square plus alpha square beta. Now, what is the common factor between these two terms? The common factor there I can see is alpha beta. So using alpha beta to factorize this, if you use alpha beta to divide this one, so alpha beta square divided by alpha beta, you have beta. Then alpha plus alpha square beta divided by alpha beta, you have plus alpha. This is the same thing as saying alpha beta is equal to alpha plus beta. It's alpha beta times alpha plus beta. So we have this to be minus 3 over 2 times this to be 7 over 2. So this times this will give you minus 21 all over 4. That's the answer for that. Now we have question 4. We have alpha square plus beta square. Now, so this is squares. So let me square the alpha plus beta. Let me find the square root of alpha plus beta. The square root of alpha plus beta is same thing as alpha beta times alpha. Sorry, same thing as alpha plus beta times alpha plus beta. Now if I open the brackets, it's just like saying the whole of this multiplied by this and multiplied by this. So the first one, this is the first one, this is the second one. So the first one is alpha times beta plus alpha plus beta. Then this one is plus beta times alpha plus beta. Now if you open the bracket, you have alpha times alpha will give you alpha square, alpha times plus alpha times plus beta will give you plus alpha beta, beta times alpha will give you plus alpha beta, plus beta times plus beta will give you plus beta square. Now we have alpha square plus 2 alpha beta plus beta square. Now we have alpha plus beta square equal to this. Now if you subtract minus 2 alpha, if you add minus 2 alpha beta to both sides, 2 alpha beta to both sides, here you have alpha plus beta all squared minus 2 alpha beta, which will be equal to, this will cancel out this, you have alpha square plus beta square. So it then means that alpha square plus beta square is equal to alpha plus beta all squared minus 2 alpha beta. Now the whole of this is 7 over 2 squared minus 2 times minus 3 over 2, because alpha beta is minus 3 over 2. So now for this, 7 over 2 square will be give you 49 all over 4. Then minus 2 times minus 3 over 2 will give you plus 6 over 2. Now this, what is the LCM? The LCM is of 4 and 2 is 4. 4 divided 4 is 1 times this is 14. That is 4 divided 4 is 4. 4 divided 4 is 1. So 4 times 49. 1 times 49 is 49. Now 2 divide 4 give you 2. 2 times 6 is 12. So this will be 49 plus 12 will give me 61 over 4. So this is the answer for that. So the next question is V. V is alpha cube plus beta cube. Now let's use alpha plus beta to divide this. So invariably what I'm doing is, if I now say alpha plus beta this value here is the same thing as this value here is same thing as saying alpha plus beta times alpha cube plus beta cube all over alpha plus beta. Because when this alpha plus beta cancel itself, it will still come back to this. So now let's work out this. Let's divide this. Now let's divide this so that we will now impute it into the equation. We have alpha plus beta divided by alpha cube plus beta cube. So what we're going to do now is using this first term to divide this first term. So alpha cube divided by alpha will give you alpha square. Alpha square times the whole of this. Alpha square times this times alpha will give you alpha cube. Alpha square times plus beta will give you plus alpha square beta. Now if we now subtract this, that is the method of division. Now this alpha cube minus alpha cube will cancel out. Then we will be left with minus alpha square beta plus beta cube. Now using this again to divide this, you have minus alpha beta. That is using this alpha to divide this one here, using this first term to divide this first term here, you have minus alpha beta. So using this minus alpha beta to multiply alpha plus beta, you will now have minus alpha square beta minus alpha beta square. Now if you put up your minus sign to subtract this from this, so minus alpha square beta minus alpha square beta, so this will cancel out. Now we will be left with alpha times minus times minus alpha beta square will give you plus alpha beta square, then plus this plus beta cube. Now using alpha, this first term, to divide this first term here, you will now have plus beta square. So using this plus beta square to multiply this one and this one, this alpha plus beta, you will now have alpha beta square plus beta cube all over. Now if you subtract this, since they are the same, it will be 0. So that means this divided by this, the solution is this, the answer is this. So which means alpha square plus beta cube divided by alpha plus beta is equal to alpha square minus alpha beta plus beta square. This is the result. This is the answer, the quotient. It will now be equal to the quotient plus 0, so plus the remainder all over alpha plus beta. So this one is equal to 0. So there is no need expressing it again. So that means alpha q plus beta q divided by alpha plus beta is equal to this. It's equal to alpha square minus beta minus alpha beta plus beta square. So if we replace it with what is in here, so now we have alpha plus beta all times alpha q plus beta q divided by alpha plus beta. So this will now be the same thing as saying, since the whole of this is this and is equal to this, so we'll now have alpha plus beta times alpha square minus beta minus alpha beta plus beta square. Now we now have alpha plus beta all times alpha square plus beta square minus alpha beta. We now have alpha plus beta alpha square plus beta square minus alpha beta. Now we have this, we have gotten this to be 7 over 2. We know this to be, which is what we just got now, to be 61 over 4. That is, this is 61 over 4. So 61 over 4 minus this is minus 3 over 2. Minus 3 over 2. So we now have 7 over 2 into 61 over 4. 11 minus times minus 3 over 2 will give you plus 3 over 2. So we have 7 over 2. Now here the LCM of 4, the LCM of the LCM of the denominator, which is 4 and 2, is 4. So 4 divide 4 will be 1. 1 times 61 will be 61. Then plus 2 divide 4. 4 divided by this 2 will give you 2. 2 times 3 is 6. You have 7 over 2. 61 plus 6 is 67 over 4. So 7 times 7 is 49. So you write 9, carry 4. 7 times 6 is 42 plus 4. You have 46 all over. 2 times 4 is 8. So this is the answer for this. Now the next one is number 6. You have VI, which is 1 all over alpha plus 1 all over beta. That is the inverse of alpha plus the inverse of beta. So let's see what is the answer. So the LCM of alpha beta is alpha. The LCM of alpha and beta is alpha beta. So alpha divided by alpha beta, dividing alpha beta with alpha will give you beta. Beta times 1 will give you beta. Then beta, alpha beta divided by beta will give you alpha. Alpha times 1 will give you plus alpha. So this is the same thing as saying alpha plus beta all over alpha beta. So alpha plus beta is 7 over 2. alpha beta is minus 3 over 2. So this is something as saying 7 over 2 times minus 2 over 3, which is something as, when you cancel this and this, you have minus 7 over 3. This is the answer for that. Then the next question is alpha, that is number 6, question 7, alpha divided by beta plus 1, then plus alpha beta divided by alpha plus 1. So that is equation VII. This is question 7. Yes, question 7. So alpha divided by beta plus 1, then plus beta divided by alpha plus 1. Now the LCM of beta plus 1 and alpha plus 1 is alpha plus 1 times beta plus 1. Now if you divide this LCM by this beta plus 1, you will now be left with alpha plus 1. Alpha plus 1 times this, you have alpha times alpha plus 1. Now if you divide the LCM with alpha plus 1, you will now be left with beta plus 1. So beta plus, that is, you have plus beta times beta plus 1. So that is what will be this. So this would now be equal to, this will now be, when you multiply, when you expand this expression, you have, okay, let me just also put this one down here into this form too, but let me expand this expression first. I have alpha times alpha will give you alpha square, alpha times 1 will give you plus 1, plus alpha, sorry, plus beta times beta will give you plus beta square, plus beta times plus 1 will give you plus beta. Divide by this times this and this, the whole of this times this and this. So the first one, which is this, will be beta times alpha plus 1. Then the next one is plus 1 times alpha plus 1. Now expanding this, you have, this one is alpha, let me rearrange this, the numerator, which will be alpha square plus beta square plus alpha plus beta, divide by this one. Let me expand this. Beta times alpha will give you alpha beta, beta times plus 1 will give you plus beta, plus 1 times alpha will give you plus alpha, plus 1 times plus 1 will give you plus 1. Now we have alpha square plus beta square to be 61 over 4. We got this to be 61 over 4. Let's check it from our previous question. This is it. This, we finally got it to be to be 61 over 4. So this value is finally gotten to be 61 over 4. So that is 61 over 4 plus this one, we got this to be 7 over 2, all divided by this alpha beta here is gotten to be minus 3 over 2. This one is same thing as this, beta plus alpha is same thing as alpha plus beta, which is same thing as plus 7 over 2, then plus this one. Now the LCM of the numerator, you have the LCM of these two fractions, you have 4 and 2. The LCM of 4 and 2 is 4. 4 divide this 4, you have 1. 4 divide 4 is 1. 1 times 61, you have 61. Plus 2 divide 4 is 2. 2 times 7 is 14. All divide by, now we have 2, 2. The LCM of 2, 2 and 1 is 2. So you have 2. 2 divide 2 is 1. 1 times minus 3 is minus 3. 2 divides 2 is 1. 1 times plus 7 is plus 7. Now 1 divide 2 is 2. 2 times 1. 2 times plus 1 is plus 2. Now we have this and this. Now 61 plus 14 will give me 75 all over 4. Divide by minus 3 plus 7 is 4, plus 2 is 6 over 2. Now 75 divided by 4 times, if you want to change this sign to times, you reverse this, so it will now be 2 over 6. So 2 cancel itself 1, 2 cancel 4 is 2, 3 cancel here is 2, 3 cancel 75 is 25. So 25 times 1 will give you 25. 2 times 2 is 4. Then the next question is VIII. So VIII, okay. VIII. So this is question 8. You have alpha divided by alpha plus 1 plus beta divided by beta plus 1. Now the LCM of alpha plus 1 and beta plus 1 is, that is the LCM, is equal to alpha plus 1 times beta plus 1. Now, so to rewrite this fraction, you now say alpha plus 1 times beta plus 1, all divided by now. So how to rewrite this fraction? The fraction will now be rewriting this fraction using the LCM. Now if you dividing the LCM with alpha plus 1, you have beta plus 1. So beta plus 1 times alpha will give you alpha times beta plus 1. Now dividing beta plus 1, dividing the LCM with beta plus 1, you have alpha plus 1. So multiply plus beta times alpha plus 1. Now we have this, opening this, expanding this expression at the numerator, you have alpha beta plus alpha plus alpha beta plus beta divided by opening up, expanding this, you said this times this and this. So the first one will be beta times alpha plus 1, then plus 1 times alpha plus 1. So if you expand it, it's just like the whole of this times beta, which is this, the whole of this times plus 1, which is this. So that is how to expand it. So now we now have this and this are like them, so we'll add them together to be 2 alpha beta, then plus this alpha plus beta divide by, now I'll open up this brackets, I will open up this expression at the denominator. So alpha times beta times alpha will give me alpha beta plus beta plus alpha plus 1. So this is something as, this is 2 times alpha beta is minus 3 over 2 plus alpha plus beta is 7 over 2, all divided by this one. This alpha beta is minus 3 over 2, that was what we got, then beta plus alpha is 7 over 2, then plus 1. So the numerator now, 2 times minus 3 over 2 will give you minus 6 over 2 plus 7 over 2 divided by minus 3 over 2 plus 7 over 2 plus 1 over 1, which is something as minus 6. The numerator for the fraction at the numerator, the fraction at the numerator, okay, let me just express this in another form. For these two fractions at the numerator, the denominators of the two fractions are the same, which is 2 and 2. So I will just say 2, I'll bring them 2 and 2. So it's just the same thing as saying minus 6 plus 7. Now for this, the denominators of the fractions are the denominators are not the same. You have 2, 2, 1. So 2, 2, 1, 2 divide 2 is 1 times minus 3 will give you minus 3. 2 divide 2 is 1 times plus 7 will give you plus 7. 1 divide 2 will give you 2. 2 times plus 1 will give you plus 2. Minus 6 plus 7 over 2 will give you 1 over 2. Divide by this one here, this denominator, minus 3 plus 7, minus 3 plus 7 plus 2 will give you 6 over 2. So you now have 1 over 2 times, now we'll reverse this to be 2 over 6. So this cancels this, will give you 1 over 6. So 1 over 6 is the answer for that. That is VIII. So number 8. So number 9, IX, sorry. IX. The question for IX is Okay, is alpha divided by beta plus beta divided by alpha. The LCM of this fraction is alpha beta. Now, to rearrange the fraction again, you say alpha beta divided by divide alpha beta by so what we're going to do now is, using beta to divide the LCM. So if you divide the LCM by beta, you have alpha. So alpha times alpha will give you alpha square. Alpha divided by the LCM, you have beta. Beta times beta will give you plus beta square. Now we now have alpha square plus beta square is 61 divided by 4. Then alpha beta is minus 3 over 2. So 61 over 4 divided by minus 3 over 2 will be equal to 61 divided by 4 times minus 2 over 3. So inverting, if you want to change the sign, this sign here, you invert, you reverse this sign, you reverse this, which is minus 2 over 3. So 2 cancel 2, 1, 2 cancel, minus 2 will give you minus 1. Let me know. 2 cancel, this 2 divide this 2, this 4 will give you 2. So we're left with minus 61 all over 6. So that is for I. Then the next one is 3 over, okay, x. The x, which is the last one, you have 3 over alpha plus 3 over beta. Or is it 3 over beta plus 3 over alpha? Okay, 3 over beta plus 3 over alpha. Just the same thing. But let me write it the way it is written. It's the same thing. Now this is equal to, you have a common value here, which is 3 and 3. Let's factorize it out. You are left with 1 over beta plus 1 over alpha. So this, you now have this. So this fraction, what is the LCM of alpha beta is alpha beta. Alpha and beta is alpha beta. So if you use beta to divide the LCM, you have alpha. Alpha times 1, you have alpha. If you use alpha to divide the LCM, you have beta. Beta times plus 1, you have plus beta. Now you have 3. Now alpha plus beta, which is this one, is something as 7 over 2. Then beta times alpha, alpha times beta is something as minus 3 over 2. Now 3 times this, 3 times 7 over 2 will give you 21 all over 2 divided by minus 3 over 2. Now you now say 21 all over 2. If you want to change this sign, this division to times, you now have to invert. You have to now write the inverse of this fraction, which is minus 2 over 3. 2 cancels this 2. You have 2 cancels. 2 divide minus 2 will give you minus 1. 2 divide this will give you 1. 3 divide this is 1. 3 divides this is 7. 3 divides 21 is 7. So 7 times minus 1 will give you minus 7. So minus 7 is the answer. That is the final. That is the end of this problem. Thank you for watching till the end.